The death toll will likely top 500,000 next month. The cases will continue to mount. We didn't get into this mess overnight, and it's going to take months for us to turn things around. But let me be equally clear. We will get through this.
Well, the administration has set a goal of vaccinating 100 million people in 100 days. It's unclear if supplies are large enough to get it done. The administration has also issued executive orders on the economy, increasing the value of food stamps and speeding up the delivery of stimulus checks. Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky is a Democrat who represents Illinois' 9th District, covering Chicago's North Side, North Shore suburbs. She attended the inauguration on Wednesday, joins me this morning to talk about the week that was and the road ahead. Congresswoman, good to see you again. A very different sense in Washington than it was 2 weeks ago when you were there.
There's no question. Last Thursday, the word in the Congress was, what a difference a day makes. And I know personally, I feel much safer, I feel calmer, and I feel optimistic, which I realized I hadn't really felt for quite a while. So it's a wonderful time right now, and things are getting done. Donald Trump, as not Donald Trump, Joe Biden has hit the ground running, and doing things like sending a video. A friend of mine who works for the Park Service said, they got a video this morning from Joe Biden thanking them for their public service. And she was so moved by that. Just nice.
It's certainly a different tone. Let me ask you, Donald Trump was known for, executive orders. And yet, when you look back at his record in this early part of his term, the first day, he only signed one. As I said, President Biden, he's at 30 and counting. Is this a smart and effective way to govern through executive order? Because, you get a new president one day and all of those can get reversed.
Well, no, this is just the beginning to say that, for example, we're not going to have a ban on Muslims, and that is so important. We're going to take care of the dreamers, the young people who came to this country, and make sure that they can have a path to citizenship. We're going to we're going to continue, actually, the moratorium on evictions, which is so important to so many people right now, and foreclosures, and put a pause on the payment of student loans, which is going to affect a lot of our young people. So that we can get these things done right away by the President of the United States, instead of the kind of name calling and building of walls, and which is also an executive order. No more building of a wall.
Yeah, that's been stopped. The president's agenda, clearly, COVID-19, immigration, the global environment. What are your thoughts about the priorities? Does he have the priorities correct for the nation?
Well, and there's a lot of topics that are being covered right now, but I think each and every one of them means a lot to a lot of people. The fact that we've rejoined the world. I've been doing some foreign press, particularly the BBC and Canada, and really those countries are so happy that they're going to have a sensible leader, someone who can really, think about other people and other countries and be allies that are reliable. And so I think that he's just right on.
Do you think there's any concern about the relationship between President Biden and relations? For example, he, I think on Friday, talked to Prime Minister Trudeau, Justin Trudeau, Pierre was his father, of Canada. And, Trudeau was not happy about the ending of the Keystone Pipeline. Other parts of Canada aren't as well. So he's doing some things that his supporters in the U.S. wants. Will that create problems abroad?
I think by and large, if there is an honest broker, someone who will sit down at the table and talk to them about mutual interests or maybe not so mutual interests. The erratic behavior of Donald Trump, you never knew what he was going to do. You never knew, even was he going to bomb Iran? I mean, he was so unreliable that I think that regardless of some of the different disagreements, that the rest of the world, the rest of the democratic world for sure, is welcoming Joe Biden to the stage now.
Let's talk a little bit about the dynamics within the House. You know, there's been a lot of press recently. We know that several Republican members on that terrible day a couple of weeks ago were not wearing masks. And, of course, several Democratic members, including your colleague, Brad Schneider, then contracted COVID-19 as a result. We know that they've got metal detectors up before you can get on the House floor. And some of the members have guns on them and they're not being allowed in confrontations. What is going on? Is this something that Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker, can properly and adequately address?
Well, we have to have that addressed because, you know, Congressman Harris tried to get on the House floor with a gun. Apparently, they can keep them in their offices. I think we have to have a serious discussion about that. And one of the executive orders did deal with having to wear masks. We're going to try that for a while to convince everyone, because that's how we really lower the curve here when it comes to the coronavirus. So we have to insist on certain rules. We have to keep the House of Representatives safe, and we want to keep all Americans safe.
You know, in the world of in the world of impeachment, and you know, there's some Republicans who think Democrats should drop it because we should move on and unite. In the House, you've got the issue of having to address some of the House members who, at least there may be some indication they were involved in some way with what happened on that day of insurrection. Should the House proceed? Should they investigate? Should they expel members, depending on what is found?
There is no question that we need a full investigation. Were there members, as it seems there might have been, that took people on a tour to show them where certain places were in the Capitol? I absolutely think that we have to have some rules that we can trust that we're not endangering one another with behaviors that are completely unacceptable. We need an investigation.
I'd be remiss if I didn't notice your dog has a very cute tail. It's showing up from time to time. I love that. But anyway, right behind you. On the impeachment front, the Republicans, of course, in the Senate, you know, seemed a bit surprised when Chuck Schumer announced on Thursday that those articles would be coming over on Monday. Are they moving too quick? Will they not be able to address the rest of their agenda?
Well, first of all, the Senate may decide not to immediately. They will take up the impeachment because Chuck Schumer believes that no man is above the law, no person is, and that each president has to be held accountable. So there will be a trial in the Senate. But we absolutely can schedule it in a way, they can schedule it in a way that they continue with legislation, perhaps in the morning, and that they do some work on the impeachment in the afternoon. So I think and this is not going to be a complicated trial. Everyone saw it. This was in plain sight. And so I don't think that it's going to take all that long to have a really compelling trial, and I am hopeful conviction.
Also, let me ask you, the president signing executive orders about minimum wage, trying to raise that, about increasing food stamps and helping those who are in food need right now. Republicans are talking about debt and the rising debt. Was that something you've heard over the last few years, or is that a concern that seemed to erupt on around January 20th?
Well, it was radio silence when it came to giving about a $2 trillion tax cut going to the top 1% mostly. No problem about the deficit. This was unpaid for. Now, when we're trying to deal with the fact that about 1 out of 4 Americans, and many are children, are food insecure, meaning they don't know where the next meal is going to come from, who are we? And we have a new definition of who we are under Joe Biden, a compassionate people that knows we have to take care of each other.
Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky of Illinois' 9th District, thank you for your time this Sunday morning. Have a great rest of your weekend. You've got quite the agenda ahead of you back in Washington. I appreciate your time.
Great. It's a new day.
Thank you.